What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Trophy Hunters podcast. Let's put a smile on that face. This is going to be a short little episode. We're talking less than 10 minutes. Ryan is on vacation. That way we don't have a whole lot of the optimism in this episode. You get stuck with me, Mr. Skepticism. Sean here, representing the Trophy Hunters podcast, talking to Dinger Nation on Facebook and on our YouTube. If you haven't yet, click the like button, comment down below, and don't forget, click subscribe. I hate that not only is Ryan away for work right now, but I'm in the middle of moving. Like, this is literally the last thing that's being done in the studio before the PC and the computer's desk and all that gets taken apart. So just bad timing. I love the road courses. I know Ryan does too. We apologize that we couldn't bring nearly as extensive coverage that we wanted to this week. The truth is, it'll probably be a couple of weeks for me before I'm up and running at a normal speed, but we should be able to bring better and more consistent content moving forward. That said, enough of that stuff out of the way. Let's get to this past weekend's events. Look, at the end of the day, as I look down at my phone and my work is calling me, at the end of the day, Allmendinger showed up for Xfinity this weekend and dominated. Best in practice, best in qualifying, best in the race. No issues on the Xfinity side whatsoever. Daniel Hemrick was running strong. Chandler Smith, I expected a little bit more out of, I have to admit, knowing, he's essentially in AJ's old stuff, AJ's old team. I thought he'd have a little bit of a better showing, but he's a kid. I just know his road course races in the truck series, they weren't, insane by any means, but he was pretty decent. But yeah. Anyways, so yeah, AJ goes out, dominates, no complaints whatsoever. I know there's some people not thrilled with the Sheldon Creed move. Look, this is what road course racing is. If you're going to block, you're going to get moved. Now, I'm not saying Sheldon Creed blocked, and AJ definitely had more than enough room, but ultimately AJ's below him, and Creed decides to come into him. AJ will get blamed for that, and probably rightfully so. But it's nowhere near as bad. Like, I've seen people saying AJ punted him. He didn't chastain him. He just didn't. They're not the same things. That being said, I'm sure he'd rather not wreck a satellite teammate. And that unfortunately happened. But how many times has AJ, been the victim of someone's stupidity? At the end of the day, the guy's nearing the end of his career. He's going to have to do what he needs to do to win. I mean, the very next day, AJ basically got punted by Harvick, and it ended his day. According to Chris, if you listen to AJ, they had about a 5th or 6th place car that they were making about 3rd. They thought they were the 3rd best car on the track. Chris Rice thought it was a 10th place car that AJ was doing more than most could with. At the end of the day, it was unfortunate. AJ probably should have finished 3rd, maybe 2nd in that race. Should have been a huge points day. Disaster struck into turn 1. That lovely parking lot that occurs. I just have to say, though, this racetrack is absolutely beautiful. I fucking love it. I hope it doesn't go anywhere. I do think AJ at COTA needs to have a different approach to turn 1, though. I do think his approach to turn 1 has gotten him into some trouble sometimes. Justin Haley had a decent race going. He was a little up and down. Looked like he was going to get a good finish, though. I think he was running in 11th when he got spun. The points outcome after that race is not good. Obviously, AJ didn't finish. Part broke on the car during that race. AJ is now 21st, 36 points out of the playoff spot. You can definitely see some of the guys on the left possibly dropping out. But the important thing to remember here is the next 3 tracks are Richmond, where Colleague has yet to show they are capable of anything on. Chandler Smith will also be running a cup car this weekend. Bristol Dirt, which, let's be honest, unless a bunch of cars DNF and AJ doesn't, that's not going to be a pretty race. And then you have Martinsville, which used to be one of AJ's strong tracks. But again, Colleague hasn't been able to find the setup there. So we'll have to wait and see how it happens. But the next 3 weeks, they're going to be in tough. And I think they're going to lose ground. I think 3 weeks from now, we won't be talking about them being 36 points back. We'll be talking about them being 56 or 66 or even worse. I hope that's not the case. The goal here should be to get better, make some gains, and limit the damage. But I think if we're being real with each other here, unless there's a turnaround in speed, and AJ keeps bringing it up in all of his interviews, where the Cup cars is lacking some speed for them, which they didn't lack last year, this team's gonna have a really hard time making the playoffs. AJ and Haley's definitely in must win. He doesn't even appear on this list, as you see. Um, and AJ probably has to win as well, which is unfortunate. I really felt confident about him being able to point his way in. Not saying it can't happen, but things are gonna have to change in a hurry. Anyways, hopefully everybody's excited for Richmond this weekend. Can't wait to see you all next week. We'll be back then. For Ryan, I'm Sean. Let's put a smile on that face. Let's have a great week. And remember, we're getting to see our guy race Cup Series, Xfinity Series. It's a lot of fun, regardless of the results at times. It's a lot of fun. Take care, everybody.